Getting back into game number 2 here, CSL Finals. Season 2, 2016. Seeker with the 1-0 lead here. Map 2 is going to be on Dusk Towers, getting on in. Spawning in the bottom left here of our map from BornGo. So our red Terran player is Skyhook. And his opponent already up 1-0 in this series here. Great at defending. I don't even think Seeker really had to attack at all last game. He tried that little 2-tank drop, but that was all he had to do. Just defensive minded. It is Seeker. I'm not entirely surprised Skyhook was the more aggressive player in that last game, all things considered. And speaking of, he is going gas first here before his barracks. And Seeker, okay. I was off in my timings in my head. I thought the supply depot was already done and he hadn't been building a barracks for a long time. Not the case. Barracks in the gas here for Seeker. So I imagine, kind of like I mentioned in the first game, Seeker finds a build and he just sticks to it. He may not go for that same Marine Widowmine drop, but I would not be surprised at all to see it. Skyhook, on the other hand, is going to switch it up a little bit, actually going into a second gas before his barracks is even finished. This SCV scout here from Seeker is going to be huge, because it's probably going to get in. It's going to have, there's no way this doesn't get in unless Skyhook just stops putting his barracks and puts down a supply depot. No, not gonna, doesn't get it. That sucks. That sucks. So now Seeker knows everything. He knows his gas first. He knows there's a double gas even. Regardless, he's going to go for the same early command center expansion that he did in the first game because he doesn't care. He feels plenty confident in being able to defend against whatever is coming his way. And really, it's not going to be so much of a surprise. I imagine Seeker got a lot of really good practice in with Monk. Monk is always looking to help people out when it comes to stuff like this, so it's no surprise that it wouldn't be surprised if Seeker got a lot of really good practice in with him, especially against every sort of TBT opener that there possibly is. How to read and react to those openers based off of what you see early. Reactor is coming down for the barracks here. Factory is finished, and I imagine it's going to be a starport here sometime, but at the moment, Skyhook is a little bit worried about this Reaper that is in his base. He wants to deal with that first. He really doesn't have anything except for his own Reaper, which was out on the middle of the map, so he has brought that back. More so he's going to get grenaded there. It is going to be a starport, though, and nothing just yet coming from that factory at all. Reaper will go down there for Seeker, but he does have a pretty good read on everything. A tech lab from our factory. Just Marines coming out here right now for Skyhook from his barracks. Same on the other side, barracks, pumping up Marines, starport on the way, a factory with a tech lab on it already here for Seeker. I imagine he's going to be going for either a Cyclone or starting up that tank production immediately. Starport finished, switching over onto that tech lab. Is he going to make a Raven? Is he going to make a Banshee and go for Cloak? They prefer Raven builds. I just think they're it's not so much of, okay, if this Banshee doesn't work, I'm screwed. Because the Raven is nice no matter what is going on the other side of the map. Skyhook is able to get in and see everything as well, so he's going to be able to know what his opponent is doing, which is nice. He even gets a couple of kills when he gets one SCV kill here with this Reaper. And he is making these Marines run around, but he's about to run into a bunch more and a tank as well. That's going to be the end of that Reaper. Well, it is going to be a Banshee here on this side of the map for Skyhook. Banshee and a tank coming here. Does Seeker know that he expanded? No, he does not. He does scan, he does see that the tech lab is wiggling away for Cloak. So he's going to be able to prepare for that. He already does have an engineering bay on the way. So he's going to be able to deal with that pretty soon. But Seeker doesn't know if there's an orbital, so he doesn't know exactly how much is coming away. There could be, 3 more barracks somewhere, just pumping up Marines instead of this extra orbital. But Skyhook is looking to at least be able to get past the stage of the game after he gets his Banshees in and try and get some amount of damage with them. Already some turrets coming up though here for Seeker, and he's scans. He's got 30-some energy, and he's got a scan available as well. 2 turrets. There's just turrets everywhere right now, so these Banshees probably aren't going to be able to do too much other than maybe be on the map and be a little bit annoying, but yeah, to walk away from that immediately. There's even a Viking out here for Seeker, so Seeker has pretty well won this early stage of the game. Yeah, Skyhook's just going to abandon that and go into some bio play. Did he even let Cloak finish? Yeah, he let Cloak finish at least. So he has that, so he's going to be able to pop in and try to get some damage done. He might get a Marine, an SCV, so that's nice. But did he lose his scan? Yeah, he got rid of the scan. He's going to have a scan here in just a second. And you can see the Vikings looking for that kill as soon as that scan becomes available. Well, that Banshee's actually doing a pretty good job here. Not too many kills, so the medevac was here able to heal, but it was a bit of an annoyance. Got some damage done on these Marines as well, which just even lowers this medevac energy more and more. Third command center here for Skyhook, and third command center for Seeker, but Skyhook's third command center is a little bit quicker here in this game than it was in the last game, and it was quicker than Seeker's, as well as the extra barracks here for Skyhook were a little bit quicker. So despite the openers, work count is pretty darn even. Army supply is pretty even as well. They just basically lost that Banshee, and that's pretty much all the difference that has been made so far in this game. Stim +1 on the way here for Skyhook. +1 is on the way here for Seeker, but he still has to wait for these extra barracks to finish before he can actually start attack lab on one of them at least, and start that stim forward. And again, Seeker just looking like he's going to be defensive. Well, is he going to try this double tank thing again? Yeah. He's going to send 2 tanks across the map. There is at least 1 turret here in the main, 1 turret in the natural as well. The SCV is still just patrolling them out there. There's a lot of units here for Skyhook. Skyhook did not skip on the units at all. He's actually got 4 barracks already. I'm not sure how long ago this 4th one finished, but it was making at least 1 Marine. I saw pop out of there, so it's a pretty healthy amount of units here for our Red Terran player. But again, Seeker is content to just defend and let his opponent make mistakes. I love the positioning here of the Vikings for both of our players. You have Vikings on these drop paths. Any bit of damage you get onto a medevac before it even actually gets close to you is really nice. And of course, Skyhook. No. Skyhook, no. I guess he was worried about a drop coming in from over here. He does have another turret here. He's got 2 turrets in this natural, but as soon as these are able to land, they're going to start getting a lot of damage on, because you can just pop them down and kind of get out. Actually, he's going to get out of there completely and start shelling away here and force a lot of plus mining time here for Skyhook. A few lost SCVs, but mining time. Viking's going to pop in here. Try to get the medevacs killed off first before he pops in there with just Marines on top of those tanks. So pretty well done here by Skyhook. He's going to lose a few Marines for his trouble, but he does kill off those 2 tanks. Only a few workers killed here. Only 3 workers actually got killed at that point by Seeker. So well done by both players, really. A bit of an investment to lose those 2 tanks and only get that many workers, but it was a pretty good amount of time lost mining-wise for Skyhook, so you do have to take that into account as well. Both players do have their 3rd command centers down, and once again, Skyhook is going to push across the map, look for some kind of timing here. Right now he does have a stem, and he's got better tank count, I think. Yeah, he's got 5 tanks to 4 right now. It's going to even up really quickly, especially considering the fact that, well, Seeker's tanks are right here, are created right here, and Skyhooks have to roll across the map. He's going to try and siege his opponent a little bit here, but it's going to be really difficult. This is a really big ramp, so if he can place himself nicely, he should be able to get some damage done. Viking count right now 4-3 in favor of Seeker, but actually kind of dive bombing in there. He actually picks up a lot of his units in one of these medevacs, I assume on accident there, loses quite a bit. Still a good amount of Marines left over here for Seeker, but now there's nothing but tanks for both players, really. Just a couple of Marines left over here for Seeker. These Vikings are perilously close to dying, but they are getting some medevac kills for their trouble. I don't know how these Vikings have survived. They're in the middle of nowhere. 3 tanks left over here for Skyhook, and he's still rallying across the map at least a little bit. Actually, it's a 4th command center finished up here, so Skyhook is being the aggressor, just as he was in the last game, but this is working a lot better for him. At the very least, he's keeping the army count relatively even, and he's keeping Seeker on the back foot. Seeker with 2 Vikings finishing up here is going to be able to push this away now, however. Skyhook will need to get on out of there. There you go, so just pick up that last tank, and he will go ahead and go on home. Pretty brutal trades for both players. Both players lost quite a bit. A little bit more lost here for Seeker. He did lose most of his Marine force, but it looks like Skyhook was kind of having trouble keeping his production going during all of that. He has quite a lot of money floating in the bank here. Seeker's money is really, really low, and Seeker has +2-2 on the way. +1-1 is finished here for Skyhook, but he's going to be quite a bit far behind. Armory is just now on the way. Here for Skyhook, so still another 30 seconds or so before he's able to even start 2-2. And by that time, Seekers will be probably at least halfway finished. Extra factories, extra barracks being made here by our Red Terran player. He's starting to secure his 4th base with a planetary here, getting those sensor towers up and rolling so he can react to anything drop-wise that comes his way. I expect to see, there we go, 4th base here for Seeker as well being made. Both players just going to wait this out for a little while. Once again, Seeker's... Oh, wait, no. Well, actually, still ahead. Seeker's work count is just so much greater than Skyhook's. Skyhook, maybe with that bank, was thinking he had a few more workers than he actually does. But right now, he is down 70 to 55 in the worker count, which is quite a bit at this point. Especially once these extra production facilities start actually doing anything. Quite a big supply block here for Skyhook, so he has a lot of money tied up in units that aren't being built right now, which sucks. No depots. There we go. 2 depots being made here in his main finally. So we get off the supply block, but that is a huge difference right now in supply. 167 to 124. Just the ability to spend money consistently. Skyhook with that attack maybe paid a little less attention to his supply count, a little too much attention to the attack as it was going on, and Seeker was continuing to spend his money, continuing to make units, and his supply shows it right now. Scans coming down everywhere for both players, but a rather large engagement coming down here. So many Marines are left over here for Seeker. He has this tank count up here on the top high ground. That's why I was kind of surprised to see Skyhook even take this 4th base here rather than at this location. It's just so much easier to defend over there. I suppose he's just simply not comfortable doing so. Skyhook trying to get some vision up there and take out some of these tanks. He does get a few of them. There's 1 tank left over, and all of these Marines here for Seeker. Seeker's Marine count right now 53 to 24 in his favor. There's a point where he can just kind of stem in and take out the tanks, but that is quite a few tanks over here for Skyhook, and doesn't want to throw the game. He's just going to wait it out. Continue denying any mining here at this 4th base. There's still 1 tank just shelling away here at this planetary. Skyhook is trying to set something up to deal with this, but it's just so difficult for him to do so. This tank is just barely out of range of this one. Planetary is about to go down here. There's another 4th command center to be made by Skyhook, but he's going to lose quite a bit here. It looks like maybe Skyhook is trying to surround Seeker a little bit, but in doing so, he's leaving this area pretty well undefended. And there aren't really too many turrets in his main base as well, so Seeker could have just walked into the main, but he's choosing to go back home and try to defend. And well, Skyhook is set up in the same kind of position that Seeker was just a moment ago, and actually Seeker kind of caught in a really awkward position where he's trying to come back and defend, but he's running into tank lines. At the same time, his own mineral line is getting ravaged. Actually, I think Skyhook was focusing completely on this planetary, which may actually undo him here a little bit, because he is... Well, he did kill as many SCVs as he possibly could, but he is now So many Marines going to be dropping over here on these tanks, and Seeker will be able to clean this up, and he's not even going to lose his 4th here. He also is going to retain most of his tank count, most of his unit count. Skyhook lost quite a bit there, and it shows in the supply a 60 supply lead here for our blue Terran player at this point in the game. 4th base is finished up once again for Skyhook, but he does have to transfer a bunch of SCVs over. His main, and I imagine his natural is about to finish mining out as well. This 3rd base is getting kind of low, but it will continue mining for a little while at least. Seeker's army is starting to get to the point of, I'm going to max out and start hammering you down here. Both players do have 2-2 finished at least, so the upgrades are relatively even. Seeker does have +1 on his tanks. It's going to be a huge help once you get into these later battles, and you may not even get there. 3-3 on the way here for our blue Terran as well. He has +2 for that mech attack also coming in. 3-3 has started for Skyhook, but he still has to find a way to defend long enough to make that actually matter. Main command center did float on back over to this location, so you'll be able to, I guess, mule it at least a little bit and get that gas econ as well. Skyhook going to try and set up here at his newer 4th base, but so many tanks here for Seeker. 8 tanks, Marines running into the grinder. Not a lot Skyhook can actually do there. Just trying to get in a position where he can actually do something against it. He's probably going to lose a 4th command center once again. He just needs to retain as much as he possibly can, because he can transfer these SCVs down over here if he wanted to. But he's defending pretty well, and he is going to go ahead and forfeit this base, transfer those SCVs on over, and get the heck out. He's going to go back to just trying to defend this 4th base location. Seeker on the other side of the map has started up his 5th command center. And once again, Skyhook, well, you're going to attack me, I guess I'll just counter and force you to come back home. Seeker's a little bit more ready for it this time. He's got 2 tanks sitting here. Marine's going to just kind of waltz on in there. Actually, well, I figured he would let them continue shelling, but he's going to unseize them and move them back, which, well, he's just going to lose those. He's going to get on top of this planetary, try to kill it off before SCVs actually get around it to actually really repair it, but planetary will go down. Seeker's army is coming on back. Going to get the high ground up if he really wants it. He is actually just going to stem and take out some of these reinforcements first off, but now he has the high ground advantage. He's able to shell from up above. And he does lose actually most of those tanks that were up there, so Skyhook is still engaging pretty well, but now his army reinforcements are cut off pretty much completely. I don't think he has any medevacs left over right now. Now he has 0 medevacs, so he can't get out of this position. And at this point, Seeker's going to end up having kind of the same army size on both sides of this force here in the middle. And he will be able to crush it eventually, but same time, Skyhook, well, he's not going to wait for that, I guess. He's going to try and get over to the other 4th, but Seeker, ever aware, is going to see that, get on top of that, kill off the rest of those units, and supply counts relatively even at this point, 144 to 123. So I guess they kind of reset a little bit, but the standing army right now, 93 army to 63 army supply. The upgrades have pretty well even up minus the mech upgrades. See 5 tanks to 2 here in favor of Seeker, which is a pretty big deal at this point, and 10 medevacs to 4, which is rather hefty. Actually, also go back to that, 11 Vikings. There's 11 Vikings here for Seeker. That's a whole lot of Vikings. I'm not sure if Seeker's planning on switching over to air at some point, but he's definitely got the setup to do so. So I did break down these rocks, make it a little more difficult for Seeker to get on up there. So I can see this. Probably hears okay, he does see it with the sensor tower, so he knows it's there. At least has a little bit of vision. Oh, all those Marines are trying to come around the back side of this, and there's still so many tanks left over here for Seeker. Marines on Marines, but the medevac count is just such a big deal, and the Marines going to retreat to those tanks there. That's a pretty decent defense for Skyhook, but he's going to call the GG there, and that's going to be it for game number 2. So Seeker going to take a 2-0 lead here in the best of 7 series. We'll be back in just a moment with game number 3.